sunny day in late July and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great.
Hello, welcome back to West Texas, everyone. So it's late spring, the next day from the last video, the last day of late spring. Grass is not grown yet. Having looked in the geo for the mod, I think there might have been a typo or whether it's a Texas thing, but the grass is not ready. It seems to have missed a growth state. If we look at the map, the grass that I cut a few days ago is still showing as harvested, and our grass is still waiting one more growth state before we can mow it. The cotton hasn't germinated yet either, which is a slight worry, but I think that's a temperature thing. I knew I'd forget to change it back to Oz. I've still got it on Celsius because I understand those. The ground temp is now up, so I'm hoping that's going to germinate today. But we don't really have a lot we can do on the farm. So my plan is, in fact, yesterday, at the end of the last day, I ran a small sowing planting contract down on field 9, which is not field 9, field 11, which is down here. We have field 9 to do, which is a very big field. I'm going to run that mostly off camera. And I may go and grab some more animals, which I will record. I think we need at least one more pen. It's the other thing to do before I jump off and do that is we made a lot of money from the BGA. We made $194,000 from the BGA from all that slurry that we sold, which hasn't quite covered our construction costs, but you know, it's covered a lot of it. And obviously we're making an income from the solar panels as well. I've fed the cows this morning and already we have another 100,000 litres of slurry to sell. I'll probably do that off camera as well, just to keep on top of getting that sold. So yeah, I'm going to run this seeding contract and then I will get back to you when that's up and running, and we're probably doing a trip to the animal dealer. Catch you in a little while. So we are in the semi headed off to the animal dealer. You can see the Magnum is sat there with the seed tender looking after the 9190, which is somewhere in field 9 over there getting some canola planted. In fact, you can just see it on the horizon there just above the animal feed trailer. That's got a while to go yet, so we're going to do 2 trips to the animal store to pick up some more Holsteins, grow our dairy herd a bit more, just because of the lag of waiting for them to calf and then produce milk. I'm curious whether people would be interested in me getting some beef cattle as well. Just see, they mature slightly quicker and would bring us a little bit of an income. I'm not too worried about income now with the money we're making from the BGA and the solar panels, but if you'd like to see me do some beef cattle on here as well, we can do that. Probably a good map to do some Brahman, which I've not done before because you don't really see those in the UK. So we'll ride along for this first trip, get loaded up and then get back to the farm, and I will do another trip off camera. I plan to do 2. And then I think we will skip forwards to summertime, where hopefully the grass will be ready to cut and make more hay, and also I need to get some herbicide on our other fields. And as soon as we've cut the grass, we'll need to refertilise that field, and we also need to lime it. So early summer's going to be pretty busy actually. Maybe it's good that we've got a quiet day today, making a little bit of money, doing a little bit of extra work with the animals. What I'm considering doing for the grass mowing, which I might save for the next video, I might do the herbicide in the morning tomorrow, and we'll see how long we are for the video. Thinking about getting a pickup header for, oh, nearly missed the turn. Thinking about getting a pickup header for the forage harvester and mowing with the mower setup we've got at the moment, and then running the forage harvester with the pickup header and the 2 forage wagons that we've got. Actually, I can't do that because I want to make hay. Oh, get that idea. maybe we will just mow the grass as soon as it's ready. I'm not sure if you can do grass with a pickup, hay with a pickup header. Might have a look in a minute in the store and see if that's an option. So that's a swift $106,000 gone. In fact, before we head off, have a look in the store at forage harvest headers. And that's pick up. It does pick up hay, and maybe we could do that. Okay. So maybe what we'll do is we will mow the grass. We probably won't need to ted it, but we will need to leave it to dry. And maybe tomorrow morning, if it's ready, we will mow it and then leave that to dry while we do all the spraying, and then in the next video get the pickup header and try and see if we can get auto drive running to cart for me in the forage harvester running the pickup header, because that's something that I've not done before, so that would be interesting. Anyway, I'm going to get these girls back to the yard, get another trailer load full if I don't kill them on the way over. Get another trailer load full, get those in, and I will probably then just leave the 9190 to finish its contract, and then we'll jump forward to summer, which is when you will see me next. So it's not early summer yet. In fact, it's a few seconds after I last spoke to you. I thought I'd just show you unloading the cows into the new pen and which pen we're going to go for. And we'll get them set up with some water. We'll worry about feeding them once. In fact, the corral that I'm putting them in has some feed in it from when it stole it when I was setting up before. Curious that that's block number 7. Anyway, get that opened up. I think while we're out of the camp, we'll get the water set up. They won't actually let me put any in until there are cows in. In fact, I've already set it up. Get me. How organised am I? Let's pack this in, get the cows put in, and we'll get them some water. I even remembered to get in the right side of the cab. Or the left side. The correct side of the cab. Let's go with that. The same as in America, they drive on the right side of the road and we drive on the correct side of the road. Let's shut the gate. Now I can go over and fill them up with some water. We're going to do 2 tray loads, same as we've done in all the other pens. Hello. If we just have a quick look. Maybe that one. So yeah, they've got a tiny bit of silage in there and they're getting water. So that will hold them over while we get the second load in, which I will do off camera, and I'll get them fed and I will see you all in the morning. So we're back. It is now early summer. It's very early in early summer. It's just coming up to 7 AM. Grass is ready to cut. The cotton is growing and the triticale and the corn are coming along nicely. We've fed our cows as well as we can. We are out of hay. The hay that we cut last time around is all gone. So we really do need to cut this grass. You will notice that the money has gone up a bit. I finished that contract, which was $40,000, and we sold the slurry that we had into the BGA. We had 2 tanker loads, so 26,000 gallons of slurry to sell, and we made some money from the solar panels. Yeah, so it was 42,000 for the contract and nearly 50,000 from the BGA. We've got a nice steady income coming in now, which is good because we're going to have to buy that forage harvest pickup. What I'm debating in my head is whether to windrow this grass and see how it dries out. Normally I would do it on a wide spread for getting hay, but it would save us a job, and the drying potential is not great, but it's seriously hot today in game. I think I'm going to go with windrowing it actually. I need to get those back mowers past the gate. So if we hit the F1 key and then it is left control Y. And so yeah, I think we're going to run it in swath dropping mode for this. And just hope that it dries quickly. And the cool thing then, of course, is that we don't have to swath it. Already cutting as dry. I said it's so hot today that even at 7 AM we have got dry grass. Which is why we're just cracking on with this first thing in the morning. We will get this cut, let it dry, and while it's drying we can go spray herbicide on all of our fields. And that'll be all of the fields ready to wait until harvest. I'm not sure when they'll be ready to harvest. And then once this hay has dried and we've got it collected and into the silo and baled if we need to, depending on how much we get, we'll need to lime and fertilise this field. I will probably fertilise it with some digestate because we've got a lot of digestate building up in the BGA. And then maybe finish it off with some liquid fertiliser if we're probably going to need to do some sort of top-up. We can maybe go quite heavy on the digestate depending on how much is in the BGA. That tree's in an annoying place. I wonder if I can go the other side of the tree. How much of this land do we own? I can go the other side of the tree. Okay. Now I'm curious. Our boundary, so we are right on our boundary. A nice little view down there. But we're going to cut as much of this as we can because once again we're in the position where we need as much grass as we can get. Okay, so that is the limit of where we can cut to, I guess. So we'll just run along the side of the road here. The other thing that I noticed when I was playing around, and I've reset them now for the other fields, is precision farming tells us how much grass we get off a field. So if we jump into the precision farming menu, because it counts as a yield, I have my fan on. And I'm not sure if it was coming through on the video, but it was annoying me. So already we have got 51,000 litres of grass off of here. Maybe. That seems like a lot, but that's a pretty damn big swath, so maybe. God, I hope we have got that much already. So you can see the corn has moved on a growth state since we sprayed it with liquid fertilizer. So I think all the fields are now at the right point to get some herbicide on to kill off those weeds that are coming through. I suspect in the real world, maybe you'd wait until that corn was almost ready to harvest so that you killed it off so that it dried out as well. But in farm sim that doesn't matter so much, and once the corn gets really high it's really difficult to see where you sprayed, even if we're using GPS. I had not appreciated quite how big this field is, which again is really good. It's going to be interesting if we can get the pickup header to work and the two forage trailers carting back over to the hay silo. This, I guess, will also give us an idea how much we need to think about baling and how much we will be able to get in those silos. I have a feeling we'll either be baling quite a lot or building some more of those storage silos. Oh, so close. So we'll just control, right arrow that across a bit. And yeah, we're just going to run this on the GPS now. get this all cut and wait for it to dry. So probably a good time for some sort of montagey thing. And I will be back with you after some music.
Like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't want to let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go.
We are churning through this field pretty quickly. I think we're probably over halfway through now, and we're up to 325,000 litres of grass cut, which is pretty awesome. Yes, I know it's not very realistic for me to know how much grass I've got off the field already, but the wonders of precision farming mean that somehow our tractor senses how much grass it's cutting. Just go with it, okay? Making pretty short work of the field. Forgotten how quick these mowers are. Very nice. We're getting a fairly good yield off the ground. Obviously it matches up somewhat with the soil types that we've got in the field. We're getting some random strips of slightly reduced yield as well, and we have to remember that this is with really, really bad lime levels, pH levels. So next time we cut this, we should get better yield. Anyway, I'll get this finished off and I will see you at the end. We're into the last few rows of the field now, and I've stopped looking at the yield, so we'll be in for a bit of a surprise when we finish off as to how much we're going to get. The yield map looks pretty good from the field. Thinking about the carting job, we are going to put in, I think, another of the silos that we used for the hay. We're already over the capacity of the first silo that we got. I don't think we're going to clear what we would be able to fit into two. Still planning to use the pickup wagon to collect this, and so I'm thinking, what tractors should we use to cart the to be our carting tractors on here? We're obviously going to need something to cart, so let me know what you think. I'm pondering either the maybe the white Field Boss tractors that we had, although they're not particularly fast, or given that we're making a reasonable income now, maybe two kind of mid-size newer case tractors. We could also put those to use around the farm with feeding cattle and stuff. Yeah, let me know what you think. This should go up far enough in advance that I won't have recorded the next episode, because I'm struggling to fit in recording this one before Sunday when I want to release it. It's Friday afternoon at the moment. So, if you've got a suggestion for a tractor that maybe we should think about buying a pair of, ideally no more than about $150,000. Mainly looking at something to cart with, and given that we may end up doing some harvest contracts, they may have to cart. So they may have to cart quite a long way, but we'll probably use the auger and the semi at that point. So something that can at least cart, thinking from our cornfield, from the silage, reasonably quickly over to the silage pits. Doesn't need to be that fast, I guess. Yeah, let me know what you think as good options, and post links below. I think people can post links in the comments. If not, just give me the name of the tractor, and I have Google so I can find it. One more strip, and we will then have a look at precision farming, and we will see how much grass we cut off of here. My guess is 550,000 litres. Obviously I have a bit of more information because I looked before you last looked, but yeah, I that's my guess. I would be happy with that. I would like more, but I would be happy with it. I don't think we own any of that grass. So let's switch off, lift up, off, lift up and fold up. Just have a quick look then. So it looks like, oh, we got 486,000 litres of grass. So less than I thought we would have got, but close to 500,000 litres. So I'm fairly happy. And stupidly, I've hit the wrong button and reset that. Anyway, so no, we don't own any of that bit. We own some stuff around field 12 that we haven't cut, but I think we'll leave that for now. We're not that desperate. If we go to the normal map and put grass on, all the grass that we cut last time is growing again. So we've got, yeah, we should get maybe 2 more cuts off of that and we'll get another cut off of here. So we're in a pretty good place for grass, I think. So that needs to be left to dry. These mows desperately need a wash because I've used them twice now and they haven't had a wash. And then I think we'll jump in the Patriot again and get some herbicide sprayed. And that'll be it for today. I'm struggling to fit in enough time to record the content for this video this week. I've put a lot of time into the Maize Plus stuff. And yeah, it's eating into the time I would normally record. And because I've recorded this video over like 3 days now in little bits, I've no idea how much footage I've got again. I suspect it's much better if you can sit down in a solid chunk and play and record. The other thing I'm noticing now that I've got 4 pens full of cows is I'm getting more lag when I'm up around the cow farm. FPS takes a massive hit. So that's something to bear in mind if we're thinking of filling lots of pens. At the moment I'm thinking 6 pens, which will give us 670-ish cows before they start having calves, and the potential to have over 1,000. I can't do 192 times 6 in my head that quickly. Maybe put the answer below in the comments. They're slightly cleaner. Don't look at the loading wagon as we drive past it because that hasn't had a clean. In fact, actually, what I'm going to do, save some time, is I can put these away off camera. We're going to leave that there. We're going to jump in the Patriot, which I think is still full of fertilizer. Yep. We'll drive out on the pan and we'll empty that out. We get a whole load of fertilizer pallets to sort out as well. We don't have any pallet forks yet. Oh, we do. The little skid steer has some pallet, not pellet, pallet forks. That's not so bad. Yeah, I'll get those tidied up. That was fertilizer, I think. Hopefully this one's herbicide. It is. Excellent. So we have wheat in pretty much every field. So we're going to tackle 4, 6 and 12 today. What does our harvest calendar look like? Harvest is a fair way off for all of them, but if we can get that done, it's out of the way and we don't need to worry about it. Not sure how much herbicide we're going to need, but I guess we can leave this full of herbicide because we'll need to maybe spray the grass. As I've said before, I'm not that keen on spraying grass with herbicide. If not, we'll maybe look at putting a tank in to store our excess. While we wait for that to fill, as I was just saying, talking about ideas for tractors. Do I have it here? Yeah, I do. This is one of the ideas that I'm thinking about. The Dirt and Diesel David Brown themed Case Maxim. We can stick it at 175 horsepower. Should do a great job for karting for us, maybe. We've got the non-David Brown version. And we've got a few fencing things. Obviously, if money were no object, a Fenn 1000 would be nice. And it's definitely on the cards in the future. As I said, we definitely, I keep saying definitely say definitely too much at the moment. We need another big tractor on the farm. The Fenn 1000 is a good option because it can have enough horsepower that it could run a big seeder for us. It's fast, so it can cart. It can do pretty much everything. We could stick it on the mowers if we wanted, if we don't end up changing the mower setup. Not sure if I'm far enough across here. I'm just going to turn into the field a bit, just in case. Obviously, because we have seasons on, we can't use a standard worker to do this, but we can use course plate, and I probably will for some of it. Hopefully I do have access to this land. There we go. Doesn't really matter if we miss a little bit of the field. Weeds are never that bad with seasons. You can change that if while we're doing this run. If you go into the seasons menu, you can change the weed scale intensity. I leave it at the default because it's then not a hassle if you don't treat them, but better if you do. Are we killing weeds? It looks like we are. We'll check when we get further up and we see some weeds. Seems like a long time ago that we planted this field. There are some weeds. There are some dead weeds. Excellent. So yeah, I'm not too worried if we don't cover 100% of the field, as long as we get most of it. And we could really expand this field slightly into that washout, I guess. I wonder if that grass is... We could maybe even mow that grass. Yeah, so I think near-term jobs we have left to do on the farm. Get these fields sprayed off with herbicide, obviously, as we're doing now. Then once the hay's dried, get that collected up. I'm going to use the loading wagon. Quite liking using the loading wagon on here to do that. Get that field limed and re-fertilized, and then probably it'll be progressed to harvest. Or more grass cutting, but feels like I've done a lot of videos on grass cutting on this. But I guess it's that part of the game. And it's a cattle farm. It's going to have lots of grass cutting. Looking forward to when we get to tackle the silage cut. That and carting the hay are going to be fun with auto drive. If I can't get auto drive to cart, I guess I'll use course play on the at least cutting the maize. I can't use course play now. I've done that, so it'll be a loading wagon job. And that would be where having a big fast tractor would be nice, I guess. A bit of random driving there. I'm finding it really hard to see where we've applied herbicide. But we're killing the weeds off, so it's obviously working. It won't take too long to get this field done, so I think we'll work our way through this field and then maybe stick the other two on a time lapse to finish up the video and call it a day at that point. Hopefully it makes a reasonable length video. This should have come out on Sunday, hopefully, if I get it edited and rendered in time and stuff like that. But you might have been watching a Maze Plus video on Sunday. Or you might have watched both, depending on when I release them. I've spent so much time diving into Maze Plus that I have gone from being a week ahead on my videos to this is Sunday's video and it's being recorded on Friday. I have none of next week's videos recorded. Luckily I have tomorrow's video uploaded and today's video is already live. And it's the last West Texas video. So you've hopefully watched that. Although I enjoy making these West Texas videos, I have found it hard to find the time this week. Particularly as I wanted to go up to 2 videos this week. Schedule wise, and it's probably less fixed for next week at the moment, but the plan for the next little while is 2 videos on here a week so we can push the series forwards, 2 videos on Oak Hill because I'm really enjoying playing on there, 2 videos on Homeworld because again I'm really enjoying that, and we've added in the new version of Maze Plus, and then 1 video on Oak Glen. As kind of winding that series up, I'm getting a bit bored of the pigs, to be honest. After I think we're on year 6, and having 3 pens full of pigs is quite a lot of work. It's why I ended up switching, just feeding them pig food rather than feeding them the 4 different feeds that I was growing. It's cheaper to buy pig food and grow other crops to bring in the extra income. Actually debating on there whether to just sell all the pigs off and run the series out to harvest, because we have a fun harvest. We've got some big fields this year to harvest on there. Yeah, if you watch that series and you're watching this, let me know what you think. That series started off way back when. It's been running a long time now. I can't remember what number episode we're on. As just me trying to see if with Maze Plus I could make pigs run as a profitable farm, and yeah, they do. They make good money. Particularly on a map like Oakfield Farm, it's quite tricky because the fields are so expensive because they're big. So we started off with the start from scratch with only the 3 smallest fields I could buy on there. Now I ended up last year on there adding in the field leasing mod, so we could lease one of the big fields. That allowed us to then buy several big fields from the income off of that, and so it should be interesting to see just how much we get out of the harvest on there this year. Planted a lot of canola, so that's a really good cash crop. And we've done some interesting things on there. Make the CCM that we made, that ended up making quite a lot of money as well, which was quite nice. Because that's been a debt-free farm, so we haven't had the option to borrow money, so we just had the starting £500,000 from a start from scratch game. And we're in a pretty good position on there. We've got quite a lot of big tractors, got a lot of land, we've got 3 animal pens full of pigs that we're selling off regularly as they hit sale weight. But yeah, it's just been around a long time, that series, and still gets about the same number of views as my other series. It's going to get good numbers of views, but I generally don't get what most people would consider good numbers of views. But it's growing. So yeah, on to the maize field. You can just about see that that's taking. Obviously it's killing the weeds that we drive over, which is the main thing. Get the GPS set again and get this field tackled. I have a suspicion that we're now at a good point to jump into a time lapse to end the video. But I'm going to run a time lapse on field 6 and field 12, excuse me, our big cotton field, and hopefully when we come back tomorrow in game because I suspect it will take the day for it to dry. If not, when we come back in the next video later in this game day, we will be trying to do fun stuff with hay. I may add in the store deliveries mod at this point as well. I think it's reasonable for us to be paying for having stuff delivered to the farm. Quite a big farm, and it's quite a long way to the store, and yes, I could stick the forage harvester on the back of the semi and tow it down there to pick up the forage harvest header, but I think it's probably more realistic that we'd be having it delivered. So we'll be paying the delivery charge. Again, if you're watching, let me know what you think about using store deliveries. It's not something that I use a lot in my series. I tend to go down to the store. I use it in setup and things like that because it's convenient and saves some time. But yeah, I'm thinking of sticking it on here just because it's so long to drive to the store and it feels like a bit of a waste of time. So my thought is that I'll just set up a store delivery point over in the yard and we'll use that. And actually the field that we planted yesterday has germinated quite nicely as well. Field 9 is just over there in the corner. Jumping about a bit. The other thing, we're starting to get fertilising contracts cropping up. They don't pay quite as well as I expected, but they're not bad. They will certainly be a good way to make some summer income out of the Patriot, which means we probably will need to switch it over to being full of fertiliser. But yeah, we have a nice steady income on the farm now from the BGA that we put in and from the solar panels. I had planned to expand the number of solar panels, but I may not with how much we're making out of the BGA. But then I'm thinking we need to pay back $15 million and I want to buy a whole load of stuff. So maybe so that we can progress the series quicker, we will put those extra solar panels in the solar panels that we've got at the moment, although aren't actually paid for yet. It's about 8 days to pay for them, and we put them in 2 days ago. Maybe when we've recovered the cost, but then we're going to buy tractors. I don't know. I think it's time to stop talking, get into a time lapse, and I'll see you next time. So if you enjoyed the video, we have to do this video. Sorry, it's part of the rules of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're not already, think about subscribing, turn on notifications. If you enjoyed the video, if you want to leave me any feedback, leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, and if you're still watching and you didn't like the video, well, thanks anyway. Leave me a thumbs down. Leave me a feedback of what I was doing wrong. Probably loads of stuff if you're a farmer. Yeah, I will catch you next time, folks. We'll stick some music on and we'll finish herbiciding this field. Bye for now.
Seem to know how to carry on your own. Ever since I got a good look in his eyes, I just knew that he was special. He said he wanted to take it slow, but I couldn't help that I wanted to take it to the next level. Cause I wanted that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't want to let you go. Cause we wanted different things and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on. Sunny day in late July and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind.